Hi, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing Magic, and Mysticism. Well, today I'm going to be talking about a particular subject that's come to my attention recently. I've been getting a lot of complaints in my YouTube message box and in my email from subscribers who feel disenchanted with some of the spiritual work that they have contracted certain providers for. So the way that it works is something like this. And by spiritual work, I'm talking about people who are doing magic and, of course, psychic stuff, energy work, that sort of thing. Essentially, it'll say, like, provider X, I paid them a sum of money, and nothing happened. I got nothing to show for it. Okay. So there could be a lot of reasons why that happened, but I'm not really going to go too far into that. What I was hoping to do is to kind of give some red flags about what to look for. That if you see these certain things, then you know that this might not be the best person to do the work for you. And I also want to say that when you're dealing with these particular arts, it isn't like there are state licenses for this, like in nursing, massage therapy, or counseling, or anything. There's no board, there's no license, so there is no oversight. There's no continuing education to, further your knowledge of a particular subject. There's no ethics board. So when you're dealing with sort of thing, and it exists in other areas like art and all of that, but anytime you're dealing with that, you're going to get some people that are around who are probably not too competent, maybe not too ethical. So I just want to kind of give some red flags to kind of help you navigate things. One I start with is that if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. For example, somebody telling you, and this may be obvious to you and me, but for some people it isn't obvious. Somebody says that, if I will do some spell work for you and you will win the Powerball. Okay, so lot to this. Okay, one is that when we're talking about magic, we're talking about probabilities, and the millions and millions chance to one that you're going to win the Powerball, even with magic, are very slim. It is certainly possible, but when you're playing the odds, it wouldn't be a great bet to ever make. And that, which begs the question, if this person could actually deliver that, if they could cast a spell to make you win that Powerball and your ticket win, then why wouldn't they do that for themselves? Why are they even talking to you and not on a beach somewhere with their multiple Powerball winnings that they've accumulated using the magic that they can certainly do for themselves? So that would be an example. Number two would be if a subscriber goes and finds someone who says that they're going to do some type of love magic, and they're going to make it with this magic so that you would come across a high status person, maybe a celebrity, and they will fall madly in love with you, and you'll have a relationship. The odds are very, very, very slim. Is it possible? It happens once in a long while, but the question is, how probable is it? Again, you gotta weigh the odds. So, number two, a magician who's contracted to perform work, who gives 100% guarantee time for their outcome to manifest. I wanted to kind of clue you into something if you're not aware of it, and I hope I'm not insulting anyone's intelligence, but the work begins to manifest on a dimension that is not ours, so it's not subject to time. So there is some variability about when something would manifest if the magic that they're doing is solid. Now, they can certainly do a divination to kind of see when it would be, but again, that is also subject to error. So if you hear somebody saying that they're telling you that on April 18th your magic will manifest and you will have exactly what you want, exactly the way that you meant it to be, it's a red flag. Most competent and honest people who do spiritual work will not say that. They may give you a range, sure, but many of them who know what they're doing are not even going to let themselves be put in a corner like that, because they know that is not something that's even completely under their control. Another one, and this is obvious in a lot of different fields, that if you have somebody who won't return your email, who won't return your calls or texts regarding your work, then that's a big red flag. They're trying to distance themselves from you. Now, depending on when this occurs in the interaction, if this is before you are trying to get them to work, then I'd find somebody else. If they're in the middle of the work or at the end and you're unhappy and they won't return your calls and emails and everything, then that is also a red flag. Possibly they took your money and they don't want to address the fact that you may be unhappy and having to deal with that situation. Okay, next one. If you find online that this particular provider of the spiritual work, there are complaints, then I would not try to approach them for work. You might have to dig deep to find those types of things. Also, if when you're dealing with them, they don't give you a price. They just says they will talk to you about it afterwards. They'll do the work and then you will kind of discuss it. That's not a good sign too. If they get to the end of the work and they say, $500, that's not cool, because you needed to know what this whole situation is about. And if it's $500 after he does his part and it hasn't manifested yet, then you may be the case that he didn't do his part anyway. So I would stay away from that. Now, what can you do, let's say, to remedy some of this? Well, if you're unsatisfied with the spiritual work and you are able to contact them through email, phone, text, whatever, it is more than your right to ask for a partial refund. I wouldn't ask necessarily for a full refund, because depending on the type of work that they're doing, is that if by chance they approached all this in good faith with you and they actually put forth effort, they actually had to use materials, for example, buy their own stuff in order to do the magic, or they spent time in meditation or whatever. Think about this, is that they're spending, if they are just a reputable person, but it just didn't work out the way you want, they took time away from their family, they took time away from possibly some other things that they can be doing. So that's why I would ask for a partial refund. That being said, if it was something really inexpensive $20, $30, and you get the sense that they operated and did what they were supposed to, it just didn't happen, then I might call it a loss. But if they're charging you more than $100, I would say ask for a partial refund. That's just my recommendation. You are free to negotiate with that person whatever you feel is necessary to make you happy. Next, you are also, if you can't contact them, if you can't make this right, you're also more than welcome to use social media and possibly some magical or metaphysical type of forums to complain, to say, hey, this particular provider did not do what I believe should have been done, and this is kind of what happened. If the person is not providing good services, they're not communicating with you, they're not trying to work it out, then maybe if there's complaints, there will be less people coming to them for that to happen, and maybe they will either A, decide to not do this anymore, or adopt better business practices with their spiritual work. All right, let me know what you think. Have you ever been the subject of feeling, or at least felt unsatisfied with some of the work that was being done, where you actually paid someone? All right, please subscribe and like. I do want to ask for a small favor for the population of my YouTube subscribers who have actually bought my book, Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism. Amazon works the same way as YouTube, meaning that with YouTube, the more that you subscribe and the more that you like and comment and all of that, what happens is it makes the videos more visible for other people to enjoy it, and then we can all be included. The same thing with Amazon. When you comment on someone's book, that makes their book go higher in the ranking, so to be more visible to people who are interested in that subject. So my favor I wanted to ask was that if you have bought my book, Dancing with Energy, if you might go to the page on Amazon, scroll down to where the reviews are. There's going to be a title. It says review this product, and then there's a parentheses, write a review. You hit that button, you type in, all you need is 1, 2, 3 lines, hopefully it's positive, and then hit submit. That's it. That way my work becomes more visible, and other people can at least even decide whether they want to buy it or not. But if there aren't a lot of reviews going on, then nobody will even know that it even exists. So do that for me. I appreciate it. And I will see you in a future video. See you later.